Hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Planet, speaking with our good friend Jim Morelli. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great, Paul.
Great. We're going to learn a lot about nutrition. This is the National Nutrition Month, and we couldn't be speaking with anybody more qualified to give us information. We actually annually we speak with you about the American Dietetic Association and their campaign. Who is the American Dietetic Association?
American Dietetic Association group of dietitians, a dietitians association. So if you are a dietitian, chances are pretty good you belong to the American Dietetic Association. Just like if you're a pharmacist, as I am, you would be with the American Pharmaceutical Association. It's an association.
All righty, good. And Jim really knows his stuff. So we're going to learn about making our lives a healthier one. And so first one is question is something about food groups. So is it a good idea to grab a little from each of the different food groups?
Yes, definitely. Variety is key. And, you want to be choosy about what you're choosing from each food group. I would say the best place to start would be to start small and start including some fruits and vegetables with each and every meal, just once, and then build from there. It could be as simple as throwing in some spinach in with your eggs in the morning, and then gradually building up from there to move meat off to the side of the plate and include more fruits and vegetables on the larger part of your plate.
How about the actual food itself? And do we think about organic food? Do we wash our food? What now should we be concerned about in the food, the actual real food that we're buying nowadays?
Well, I tell you what, organic food is coming down in price, which is a really good thing. There's a certain retailer out there who's started to feature organic food, and they're a big one, and so they're driving down the price of organic food, and that's very good news because I do believe organic food is probably the better way to go, especially when you're talking about food conventionally grown that tends to be treated with pesticides. Leafy greens, for example. I grow them in my own garden, and despite my best attempts, the bugs get at them all the time. So those are the kinds of things that sometimes you have to use pesticides. So obviously, if you are buying those greens, wash them thoroughly. I'm talking like collards, kale, that kind of thing. And if you can afford to buy the organic versions, buy the organic versions of those especially.
Okay. That makes good sense with the depletion of the minerals and everything in our soils nowadays. How do we get the most nutrition out of every calorie, would you say?
I think it's by reading labels. I think we have to be very careful to know what exactly we're taking in terms of calories. Up here we have a law where at places like, the donut shop, they have to post the calories. And I am amazed at the number of calories in things that I never would have guessed. I know a cookie contains calories, but I would think 100, 150, and it's 400 calories. And so by looking at the label, by knowing what you're eating, you can have a better idea of whether you're getting something that's going to give you bang for the buck. One example of a good bang for the buck would be a low-calorie juice, low-sugar juice that contains superfruits. So there's one out there called Healthy Balance from Old Orchard. It contains pomegranate, blueberry, acai berry. It's only 29 calories for 8 ounces. That's a great option if you are a juice drinker. You've got to be careful with juice. Juice contains sugar and corn syrup, so you want to look at ones that do not. And then the other thing is, in terms of including more plants into your diet, think about using a pure plant protein powder. There's a company out there called Growing Naturals that has a line of powders, protein powders, made of rice, made of peas, and soon they're going to be made out of hemp. These contain 15 to 25 grams of protein in a serving, and you can make shakes out of this like people make protein shakes. You can also add it to things like spaghetti sauce. Let's say you don't want to have meat and you want to have protein in your spaghetti. You can add this to spaghetti sauce. Nobody will know the difference. And you're getting high-quality protein there. It's protein every bit as good as what you'd get like from whey, and it's not an animal source, so it doesn't contain cholesterol and those kinds of things. So it's a great option. A lot of fitness pros, a lot of celebrities are really going for this new plant protein powder thing.
That's like a green powder also? Something out there like that as well? Is it when they say green powder, I know buddies are on it. I'm considering it, and I just had some health drinks where they're putting that kind of powder into those drinks.
Well,
I guess there's just some types out there?
The green powders are more in terms of a vegetable extract. So there may be kale in there may be spinach, that kind of thing. This is actually protein. That's what all it is. So it's protein from rice. They take the protein from the rice and get it into a powder form. The peas, it's slightly green, and they take the protein from the peas and they put it into this powder. So you're talking about pure plant proteins. That's all it is. So it's not it's not a leafy green type of powder.
Okay. So when you go out, say, out to eat, so now do we start to give a little bit more thought if we want to be healthy on where to go, what to eat, how to go about it nowadays?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm a super picky eater, so when I go out to eat, I'm constantly asking questions, which, you have to do if you want to eat well and you want to make sure that you get something that you're going to actually like and not feel horrible after you eat it. But the good news, I think, is that almost anywhere you go, and that would include fast food places, you can get a healthy option. I'm on the go all the time, and one of my favorite meals is to get a salad with grilled chicken on it from one of the larger fast food establishments. And I don't put any dressing on it because I don't need it. It's flavorful enough. It does contain more sodium than I want, but on balance, it's really quite a good lunch for a good price. So I think it's important that we not just automatically think, fast food place hamburger and French fries, think fast food place, I can get a salad here, and try the salads. I'm telling you, you'll be pleased if you haven't tried them.
And I do similarly. I do that as well as if I can not go for the double cheeseburger.
Yeah. Not always easy.
You need some control. Control is important, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about something that actually my doctor sending me to an endocrinologist, nutritionist, and diabetes specialist next week. Okay, because I'm an up and downer, 30 pounds up, 30 pounds down. Not a good thing, right, Jim?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, weight loss can take care of. I did a story recently, and the statistics on weight loss and its effect on diabetes are absolutely incredibly dramatic. You do not need to shed very much weight to have an incredibly large beneficial effect if you are pre-diabetic, which means you don't have diabetes but you're trending, or if you actually have diabetes. And then that's not to mention the fact that for every pound you take off, you relieve so much stress off of your joints, your knees in particular, and, of course, your cardiovascular system. Being overweight is, in my opinion, up there with smoking, in that it's a preventable thing. It's something that we should all aspire to get to a normal weight because our bodies will reward us back with more years and more good health. But having said that, I know it's not easy. I had an illness a few years ago, and I am still trying to take the weight off. I couldn't exercise. I was prevented. They wouldn't let me. I'm still trying to take some of the weight off from that period. It is very difficult, and I'm somebody who goes to the gym all the time, and I am very conscious of what I eat. But our body establishes set points, and once those set points are set, man, it's hard to break through them.
Well, I think what the doctor wants with me is I was down 108. This is my surgeon because I did have a health. My colon broke. So now I'm back up at 215, 220 again. And so, but he's seeing, I think reason why he's sending me to that type of a doctor is that he said you should only be losing 2 pounds a week. Okay, so he wants me, in my mind, at this point, and I'm doing it, and I just took off maybe 2, 3, 5 pounds or whatever, first pounds for a male, I think, are easy. I don't know if that's true, but it just seems like I can lose 10 pounds in 1 week. He wants me to lose 2 pounds a week. I think he wants me to change my life. What do you think?
Well, I think it's wise advice because it's the small you can't. I always tell. I coach a soccer team, a youth soccer team, and I tell the guys when we have goals and they want to score 5 goals all season. I say, you got to start small because if you don't start small, you are very likely not going to make your goal, and then you're going to get disappointed. And that definitely goes true with weight loss. I established a long time ago after I had gained weight from the illness that I had, I said, I can't expect to overnight lose this weight. I have got to gradually wear it off, and that's the way it is. And the older you get, the harder it gets. Your body wants to hang on to that weight. And then don't forget, if you're exercising, you're adding muscle mass, which will show up as weight, but actually is not a bad thing. So I think the 2 pound per week rule is a good one, and I don't think anybody should go above 2 pounds a week because you want lasting changes, and you don't want to starve. You want to be able to make food choices that will give you enough calories so you feel satisfied so that you don't binge.
Last question, and thank you always for their wisdom here. So you buy food. How do you take care of it? How do you store it? When do you get rid of it? Can I make chicken today and eat it in 2 weeks because it was in the refrigerator? And because I hate to waste food. Or am I really being foolish? And so on and so forth. How do you prepare? How do you take care of food?
Well, I tell you what, the way that I do it is I try, if I get a package of chicken, I'm Italian, and so I'm always preparing too much food. But if I have a package of chicken and it's just the three of us here, I will just take half that pack, freeze the rest so that there are a minimum number of leftovers. Because I'm like you, I don't like to waste food. It's just something ingrained in me from childhood. And then also observe food safety. Be very careful that you have 2 spatulas when you're barbecuing. Do not cross-contaminate. Use one for the cooked food and one for the raw food. And as soon as that plate carrying the raw food is done, take it inside, put it in the dishwasher in the sink and wash it, and don't use it again.
Right on time for barbecue. Last quick question. What does peace mean to you? You know we're very involved with the International Day of Peace. What is peace for Jim Morelli?
Peace means to me being healthy, and peace means to me having a sense of hopefulness for the future, which I do have, especially on March 31st when we've got all of spring ahead of us, which is my favorite time of year.
Great, Jim. Always love speaking with you. Take care. Look forward to getting together soon.
Me too. Take care. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye now.